The rain pounded against the floor-to-ceiling windows of the sprawling mansion like an angry fist, each drop echoing the turmoil in Ethan Hargrove's heart. He paced the marble foyer, his polished loafers clicking sharply, glancing at his Rolex every few seconds. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, was late coming back from her weekend visit with her mother. Ethan, a self-made millionaire in tech, had fought tooth and nail for primary custody after the messy divorce, but the court insisted on visitation rights for Sarah. It's important for the child, the judge had said. But Ethan knew better. Sarah's life was a whirlwind of bad decisions, and tonight, something felt off. Terribly off. The doorbell chimed, slicing through the storm's roar. Ethan flung the door open, and there she was, Lily, drenched and shivering, clutching her pink backpack like a lifeline. Her nanny, Mrs. Patel, hovered behind her, umbrella askew. But it was Lily's eyes that stopped Ethan's world, wide, haunted, not the sparkling blue orbs that usually lit up his days. "Daddy," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the thunder. She stepped inside, water pooling at her feet, and looked up at him with a tremble. "I don't like Mom's game." Those 5 words hit Ethan like a freight train. He knelt down, pulling her into his arms, ignoring the wet chill seeping through his shirt. "What game, sweetheart? Tell Daddy everything." But Lily just buried her face in his shoulder, her small body shaking with silent sobs. In that moment, Ethan's gut twisted, a primal instinct screaming that this wasn't just a child's whim. Something was wrong, deadly wrong, and he wouldn't wait to find out what. Ethan Hargrove hadn't built his empire by ignoring his instincts. At 42, he was the CEO of Hargrove Innovations, a company that revolutionized AI-driven security systems. Billions in the bank, a yacht in Monaco, properties across 3 continents, but none of it mattered without Lily. His marriage to Sarah had crumbled under her spiraling addictions and erratic behavior. He'd walked away with custody, but the visitation weekends were a knife's edge. Sarah lived in a rundown apartment on the city's outskirts, scraping by on alimony and odd jobs. Ethan paid for everything, Lily's clothes, toys, even Sarah's rent, to keep things stable. But stability was an illusion. He carried Lily to the living room, wrapping her in a fluffy blanket by the fireplace. Mrs. Patel bustled in with hot cocoa, her kind eyes filled with concern. She was quiet the whole drive back. "Mr. Hargrove said nothing until we pulled up." Ethan nodded, his mind racing. "Thank you, Mrs. Patel. You can head home, I'll take it from here." As the nanny left, he sat beside Lily, stroking her damp curls. "Princess, what happened at Mommy's? You can tell me. I'm here." Lily sipped her cocoa, her little hands trembling. She set the mug down and fiddled with the blanket's edge. "Mommy has a new friend. His name is Jake. They play a game called Hide the Secret. But it's not fun, Daddy. It's scary." Ethan's blood ran cold. Hide the secret. What does that mean? She glanced around as if afraid someone might hear. "Mommy says I have to hide in the closet when Jake comes over. And not make any noise, no matter what. They laugh and make loud sounds, and sometimes Mommy cries. But she says it's just a game, and if I tell anyone, the monsters will come get me." Monsters. Ethan's fists clenched. This wasn't a game, this was a cover. Sarah had promised the court she'd cleaned up her act, no more drugs, no more shady boyfriends. But Jake. Ethan had run a background check on Sarah's acquaintances months ago, no Jake. His tech-savvy mind kicked into gear. He pulled out his phone, fingers flying over the screen to access his company's private database, a perk of inventing surveillance software. While Lily munched on cookies Mrs. Patel had left, Ethan dug deeper. A quick search on social media revealed Sarah's new friend, Jake Harlan, 35, with a rap sheet for domestic violence and drug possession. Photos showed him at Sarah's place, arms around her, but one image made Ethan's stomach churn. A blurry shot of Jake with a group of rough-looking men, captioned, "Business as usual. Drug dealing, abuse, and Lily in the middle of it." "Daddy, my tummy hurts," Lily whimpered, curling up. Ethan forced a smile. "It's okay, baby. Daddy's going to fix everything." But inside, rage boiled. How dare Sarah expose their daughter to this? He wanted to storm over there himself, but he knew better. Vigilante justice wasn't his style, evidence was. He texted his lawyer, "Marcus, emergency. Lily back from Sarah's, something's off. Need advice ASAP. Marcus called back in minutes. Ethan, slow down. What did she say? He recounted Lily's words, the game, Jake. Marcus sighed. Sounds like potential endangerment. But courts need proof. Don't confront Sarah, could backfire. Document everything, get Lily to a child psychologist tomorrow. Ethan hung up, frustrated. Proof. Lily's fear was proof enough. He tucked her into bed that night, reading her favorite story about brave princesses, but her eyes darted to the shadows. As she drifted off, she murmured, "Promise no monsters, Daddy." "I promise," he whispered, kissing her forehead. But sleep evaded him. Pacing his study, surrounded by screens displaying stock tickers and security feeds, Ethan replayed Lily's words. Hide the secret. What if it was more than noise? What if Jake was hurting Sarah, or worse, involving Lily? His millionaire status gave him resources, but money couldn't erase trauma. By dawn, Ethan had a plan. He called his private investigator, Rita, a no-nonsense ex-cop who'd helped during the divorce. "I need eyes on Sarah's place. Discreet. Find out who Jake is, what they're doing." Rita was on it. Meanwhile, Ethan took Lily to Dr. Elena Ramirez, a child therapist recommended by Marcus. In the cozy office filled with toys, Lily played with dolls while drive. Ramirez gently probed. "Tell me about Mommy's game," the doctor said. Lily arranged the dolls in a closet-like box. "I have to hide so Jake doesn't see me. He and Mommy play loud, and sometimes there's smoke that smells funny. Mommy says it's candy smoke, but it makes my head hurt." Dr. Ramirez's expression remained neutral, but she noted everything. After the session, she pulled Ethan aside. "Lily's showing signs of anxiety, possibly from witnessing substance abuse or arguments. No indications of physical harm, but emotional neglect is abuse too. I'll write a report for court." Emotional depth hit Ethan hard. He'd grown up poor, father absent, mother working 3 jobs. He vowed Lily would never know that pain. But here it was, seeping in through Sarah's choices. That afternoon, Rita called with intel. Jake's bad news. Small-time dealer, meth and pills. Sarah's using again, neighbors heard fights, saw sketchy visitors. One night last week, cops were called for a disturbance, but no arrests. Ethan's heart pounded. Lily had been there last weekend. What if? He couldn't wait. "Thanks, Rita. Send the report." With evidence mounting, Ethan faced a choice: file for emergency custody modification or act now. But that night, Lily woke screaming from a nightmare. "The monsters are coming. Jake said if I tell, they'll take me away." Holding her, Ethan made the call. His finger hovered over 911. "This is Ethan Hargrove. I believe my daughter is in danger from her mother's home. She's back with me now, but I have reason to suspect abuse and drug activity there." The operator's voice was calm. "Sir, can you provide details?" He spilled it all: Lily's words, the game, Jake's record, Rita's findings. Within hours, police arrived at Ethan's mansion for statements. Lily, brave little soul, repeated her story to a kind officer, drawing pictures of the scary closet. The investigation unfolded swiftly. Officers raided Sarah's apartment, finding drugs, paraphernalia, and evidence of dealing. Jake was arrested on outstanding warrants. Sarah, tearful and defiant, claimed it was just a phase. But the court saw through it. Emergency custody granted to Ethan, visitation suspended pending rehab and evaluation. Challenges piled on. Sarah fought back, accusing Ethan of alienation. Tabloids splashed headlines: "Millionaire Dad vs. Struggling Mom, Custody War." Ethan shielded Lily, enrolling her in art therapy where she painted her fears away. He even reached out to Sarah's family, offering to fund her treatment. "I don't hate you," he told her in a mediated call. But Lily comes first. Relatable moments defined their journey. Ethan, the workaholic tycoon, learned to play tea parties instead of board meetings. Lily's laughter returned, slowly. One evening, as they baked cookies, she said, "Daddy, you're my hero. Like in the stories." Tears stung his eyes. "And you're mine, princess." Resolution came in court. Sarah, after months in rehab, admitted her mistakes. "I love Lily, but I wasn't ready." Supervised visits resumed, cautious and healing. The story's pace built to an inspiring close. Ethan founded a foundation for child protection, using his tech to develop apps detecting early signs of abuse. Lily, now thriving, drew a picture for her dad, a family safe from monsters. In the end, it's not wealth that saves us, but listening to our children, our instincts, our hearts. Because sometimes, a little girl's whisper can change everything. And in that change, we find hope, strength, and the unbreakable bond of love.